Hello and welcome back, students. Now we will see interfacing of displays. Okay, there are three types of displays. Those are commonly used. One is LED. It is used for the indication purpose. LCD, on which we can display alphanumeric characters. 7-segment display, on which we will be able to display number and characters also with some limitations. Okay, so let's see LED interfacing. Basically, we have covered the basics related to this and the programming of LED interfacing in previous units. We will quickly go through the concept related to LED interfacing once again. For detail, you can refer previous unit slides. Okay. So here, the problem statement is write the assembly level program to interface an LED to pin 1.0 and flash it after every 50 milliseconds. Assume XTAL means crystal frequency is 11.0592 MHz. Now here 50 milliseconds, that frequency or the time is very much less. Okay, so within this kind of time, that is 50 milliseconds, we will not be able to recognize whether LED is off or on. Maybe you will feel that LED is remaining on for all the time. Okay, so if you want, you can increase this delay up to, let's say, 500 millisecond. So let's get started with the program. We will do programming by using timer 0. Okay, so let us use timer 0 in mode 1. Mode 1 is a 16-bit mode. So in this mode, as we know that the 16-bit value will get incremented and it will increment till its highest number, means FF. After reaching at FF, the timer will overflow to 0000. Okay. And due to this overflow, it will generate an interrupt if interrupts are enabled. Right? So by using this feature of timer 1 or timer 0, we can program and we can generate a delay of 50 milliseconds. So here we are now interested to generate a delay. Now to generate a delay, we should know how much value should be passed to the timer, so that timer will start counting from that value. Okay, so for this purpose, we will be going to calculate the value. How to calculate value? We have this formula: 65536 minus count is equal to F oscillator frequency by 12 into delay. Okay. We know delay. It is 50 millisecond. Okay. Clock frequency is given. Clock frequency is 11.592 megahertz. We are interested to calculate this count value. So if you try to simplify this step, you will get count equal to 65536 minus 46080. Okay, count value you will obtain is 19456. Now your job is to convert this particular value into hexadecimal. This is the decimal value. So if you convert that value in hexadecimal, you will obtain 4C00. Okay. Here your job is to move this value to TH0 and this value to TL0. TH0 and TL0, those are the registers of timer 0 in which the delay value should be loaded, and from that value during each clock the value will get incremented till FFFF. FFFF is the highest value that the register can hold, and after this, during next clock pulse, the value will get reset to 0000, and this is called as overflow. During this time, the interrupt will get generated. We will make this LED on, and again we will reload this value, that is 4C00. Again the counting will get started. After some time, let's say after the span of 50 millisecond, the value will reach to FFFF, and after that it will overflow. Again the interrupt will get generated. So previously LED was on, now we will make LED off. Again we will reload the value with 4C00. So TH0 TL0 will contain 4C00. Again the timer will get started, and after say 50 millisecond, the timer value will reach to FFFF. Okay, and during next clock pulse the value will get reset to 0000, and due to this overflow the interrupt will get generated. Okay, and previously LED was off, now we will make LED on. So what is happening here is LED is remaining off for 50 millisecond, then we are making it on. Again it is remaining on for 50 second, then 50 millisecond, then we are making it off. Again it is remaining off for 50 millisecond, then we will making it on. So in this way the LED is becoming on and off at this port P1.0. So our program will have some different structure because we are going to use interrupt mechanism. Okay. How to use interrupt mechanism and how this program gets executed, it is described in detail in previous unit. So I will recommend you to access previous slides. So all of we know that the program memory contains the area reserved for interrupt service routines. This is the program memory, and at say beginning part it consists of the area of ISR. Okay, and a later part, in this part we can write the program. Fine, and the starting location address is this. Now the problem is that if we start writing our program, the program will get occupied in the space of interrupt service routine. We want to use ISR of timer 0. So what we will do is, we will write two sentences over here. One or couple of sentences can be written. After that we will jump to this location. Here we will write main program. Okay, and whenever interrupt occurs, interrupt will jump to the ISR location somewhere at this place. It will execute, and after that it will come back again in the previous location. So in this way we are going to execute the program. Fine. So initially we will write org00h. So this is the starting location. Then we will write ljump main. Okay, so in this way the pointer will jump to this location, just like here it's happened. We will enter in this main part, and this main, the first instruction of this main routine is getting started at location 1000h. So this is 1000h location. Let's say move tmod 01h. So this will here basically configure our timer counter hardware in a timer 0 mode and in mode 1. Okay, timer mode means our hardware will not work as a counter, it will work as a timer. Now out of two timers we have selected timer 0, and it is working in mode 1. Mode 1 is 16-bit mode. Now we will move this delay value 4C00 in TL0 and TL0. So move TL0 hash 00h and move TH0 hash 4CH. In this way TL0 and TH0 will contain 004C. Then move IE82H. Last time we had discussed that we are generating 50 millisecond of delay by using interrupt mechanism. So that for that purpose we will have to make interrupt enabled. Okay, now there is a register called interrupt enable, you can see at this place. This global interrupt you will have to make it 1 enable, and this timer 0 related interrupt, that is ET0, it must be made on. Rest of the interrupts are for serial communication, timer 1, external interrupt 1, external interrupt 0. Okay, we are interested in timer 0, that's why we made it 1. Now if you try to calculate or convert this binary value into its equivalent hexadecimal, then you will find it is 8, it is 2, so it will become 82. In this way we have moved 82 in IE, that is interrupt enable register. Then we will write ACTB TR0. So TR0 is basically the bit in TCON register. This is called as timer run control bit. When you set this bit, the timer will start, okay, and in this way the timer will start counting in upper direction. So 4C00 will become 4C01, then 02, and likewise it will go, it will rise up to FF. Fine, and then it will overflow to 0000. We have started the timer, and now assume dollar. Assume dollar means the program will jump onto the same instruction again and again. Okay, so here our program is jumping on this instruction. It will keep on jumping over here till it reaches, it means timer reaches. Timer means the value inside TL0 and TH0, this becomes FFFF, because this value is there in TL0 and TH0. So this value in the register TL0 TL0 is getting incremented. So after some time the value inside it will reach to FFFF and it will overflow. When it overflows, the interrupt will get generated. The moment when interrupt gets generated, the pointer will jump to the interrupt. Here timer 0 related interrupt has occurred, so pointer will jump to that interrupt location, like this. Here we have explained the pointer is jumping to ISR location. The ISR location is 000BH. It is a location of timer 0. Now as we know, the value of the timer has become 0000. We will reload that value with 4C00. So TL0 and TH0 will be assigned with the values 004C respectively, and we will complement P1.0. Let us suppose P1.0 was low, now it will go high. Return from interrupt, it will go back over here, because interrupt was after, means whenever interrupt got generated, after returning back from the interrupt, it will return to the next instruction. Next instruction will be the same instruction. Again the pointer will keep on jumping on the same instruction again and again, and the value inside the timer register will start incrementing. Again it will increment, it will go up to FFFF. Let's say after 50 millisecond it will reach to FFFF, and then it will overflow. When it overflows, again the timer related interrupt will get generated. Again here, just like previous case, the pointer will jump to the ISR location, which is 000B location. We will reload the value, we will reload it with 4C00 and complement P1.0. So P1.0 was 50 millisecond high, now it will go low. Okay, again return from interrupt. Again the same thing will happen, same instruction will get executed, and again whenever interrupt come, interrupt will obviously come after 50 millisecond. Okay, after 50 millisecond it will jump to ISR to make this pin high. Again return from interrupt. So in this way, at this point you can see high low signals are getting generated, of which width is 50 millisecond. Okay, in this way we are making this LED on and off, of which duration is 50 millisecond. So this ends up the program discussion related to LED interfacing. Now we will see LCD interfacing. LCD interfacing, this is the assignment in a lab session. So to perform this experiment, you should go through this discussion, LCD interfacing. Now in our kit, we have LCD which is connected in 4-bit mode. So that's why we will be going to focus on 4-bit mode and not 8-bit mode. Let's go through the concept related to LCD. Here we are interested to display the message SEIT. Okay, SE space IT on LCD. If you see the LCD, you will observe something like this. Means there are basically two rows, row number 0 and row number 1, and there are 16 columns. So 0, 1, 2, likewise up to 15. Means there are total 16 columns. That's why you can display total 16 by 16, means total 32 characters on the display. Those 32 characters can be alphabetical, or it can be numerical, or it can be any special character. As there are 16 columns and 2 rows, it is called as 16 by 2 display or 16 by 2 LCD. The pin configuration of this LCD is something like this. Pins are available at this portion. If you hold LCD like this, then at the left side you will observe there are 3 power pins, VSS, VDD and VEE. This is basically ground. It will go to 5 volt, let's say, and VEE will get connected through potentiometer. Potentiometer is the variable resistor. If you vary that resistor, the intensity of this LCD will also get varied. Then there is RS. It is called as resistor select, which is 4th pin. Then there is RW. It is 5th pin. Then we have enable. It is 6th pin. You will observe right from pin number 7 to pin number 14, there are data lines D0, D1, D2, D3, D4 and likewise. This table shows the pin description that we have discussed right now. Here we should discuss those 3 important pins along with the data lines or the data bit. Okay, so we will have this picture with us, and now we will start discussion. RS pin, that is register select pin. This is the important pin. So by using this pin, this LCD will come to know whatever sent by the microcontroller onto these pins is data or command. Okay, the theory of this LCD tells us LCD is able to receive data and command also. Okay, now what do you mean by data and what do you mean by command? Let us suppose you want to display A at this location, means at this location basically over here, and not at this location above row, in the row which is below, on that row you want to display A. Now in this case, firstly our job is to tell the LCD that please take the cursor at this position, means in the second row of the first column. Okay, and in this way we will have to send the command. In order to send the command, we will send some number over here, that will be the command number, and now this number can be treated as a data to be displayed, and the same can be treated as a command to be followed. Now LCD will be in confusion. So for that purpose we will make RS equal to 0. If we make RS 0, then the data will be written. Here one more important thing is that we have RW pin. Basically it is internally RW bar. So in order to do write operation, we have to make it 0. This pin should be made 0. If you want to read the content, or if microcontroller wants to read the content of LCD, then that pin should be made 1. Here we are not doing any reading operation, means microcontroller will not read the value, rather it will send the value to LCD for displaying purpose. All the time we will be going to connect RW bar pin to 0, or we will connect it low, or it can be grounded. Fine. So in this way, by making RS pin 0, we have sent the command, or we have written the command. That's why RW bar pin is 0. We have written the command so that the cursor will come at this position. Okay. Now after this, we will send the hex character or the ASCII equivalent of A on those lines. That will be the binary format basically. Now A should be treated as a data, not a command, because data is that thing which get displayed on the LCD. In order to recognize that whatever arrived over the pins should be treated as a data, for that purpose we will make RS pin equal to 1. Okay, so the moment when we make it 1, the A data will go inside and it will get printed. Okay, and now here also we are writing that data. We are sending command, we are sending data. That's why writing operation is getting performed basically here, and that is why RW pin is low. Then there is one more bit, that is E bit. E bit is the enable bit. Enable bit is used for latching purpose. Latching means initially we send the command over the lines. Okay, when we send the command, we will have to toggle this pin. Toggle means sending this kind of pulse, making this pin as high to low, low to high. Okay, when we send command to it, obviously this RS should be 0, RW should be 0. The moment when we send command, it should be toggled. So the command which is appearing at those pins will go in and it will get executed. In the same way, when we are sending the data, during sending the data, RS pin should be 1, RW bar should be 0, and the moment when we toggle this enable pin, the A will get latched inside this LED, so LCD, and A will get printed. Okay, so this is the function of all those pins. Now by keeping the concepts of those functions or pins, we will switch to programming part. Just before going through programming, we should know the commands that are used to initialize the display. Okay, so basically those are the commands listed at your right. You can see, to initialize the LCD, one line, 5x7 matrix, 4-bit mode. 5x7 matrix means there are 5 dots and 7 such dots, so which forms the matrix. Okay, it is filled in from inside. If you observe carefully over here, you can feel the blackish area over here. Okay, this blackish area contains the LCD dots, which forms 5x7 dotted matrix on which the character gets displayed. So that's why it is 5x7 matrix. Then we have 28. To initialize LCD 2 lines, we have 2 lines LCD in 5x7 matrix in 4-bit mode. Here we are using 4-bit mode, right? 4-bit mode means there are total 8 data lines. You can observe those are total 8 data lines. Actually, just like over here, we have connected D7, D6, D5, D4. those higher data bits or higher data pins to the microcontroller, and we have kept rest of the pins unconnected. If we want, we can connect all those 4 pins to the port pin, but we have not connected anywhere. So to operate LCD with 4 data pins is called as 4-bit mode. To operate LCD with all of its data pins, total 8 data pins, it is called as 8-bit mode. Normally 4-bit mode is preferred because by using 4-bit you are saving 4 pins of the microcontroller. So you can connect any sensor or any other IO device to those pins. In future, if you are going to connect your LCD in 8-bit mode, then you will have to use this command 38. Okay, then display on cursor blinking. If you want this kind of feature, means display will become on, that's fine, and cursor will start blinking, just like when you work in let's say Microsoft Word. Okay, so in that scenario you might have observed that cursor keeps on blinking when you type something. In this way we can keep our cursor of LCD, it will keep on blinking. Okay, so to obtain that feature we'll have to send 0f command to the LCD. There are lots of command later on, means there is actually the list of lots of commands. You can refer the datasheet of LCD or it can be obtained easily on the internet. Then one more command we will be going to use is 01. Okay, it is clear LCD. So this will basically clear the content which were saved in the memory of LCD. Any garbage value if it is there, then it will get cleared. Then there is a flow of the program listed over here. We have this diagram, this is the interfacing diagram. Here if you want to operate LCD in 4-bit mode, then you should connect the LCD pins to higher data bits and not to the lower data bits. If you connect them to the lower data bits, the characters will not get displayed on the LCD. 4-bit mode is applicable only to higher data bits, which is D4, D5, D6 and D7. We have connected all those pins to P1.4, 1.5, 1.6 and 1.7. Okay, and the control lines, that is RS, RW enable, you can observe that we have connected all those pins to port 3.0, 3.1 and 3.2, and those are the power lines. If you move this potentiometer, the brightness of the LCD will get varied. Okay, let's go through the algorithm part of LCD. Here, as we have discussed, we need to initialize the LCD. After that we will send some commands, and after that we will be going to send data in order to display it. So algorithm for LCD initialization, how will be going to initialize LCD, that we will see. Firstly, introduce approximately 20 millisecond delay to initialize the internal register of LCD, because the many of the times if you have the project with, let's say this kind of project, microcontroller connected with LCD, during this time the microcontroller, you can see this is the faster device and LCD is a slower device. At the very beginning, as soon as this microcontroller is getting started, during that time, at the same moment if you are giving some commands to the LCD will not receive those commands, because LCD takes some time to get on, okay, to become on. So for that purpose, at the very beginning we are given some delay. Let's say delay is of 20 millisecond, and after that send the command through command write function. We have cmd wrt function. Okay, so by using this we'll be going to send the command. The first command will initialize the LCD in 2-line 5x7 matrix and 4-bit mode. Then we will send next command to display to make it on. Okay, so by using that command we are going to on the display and cursor will keep on blinking. After that, one more command we will send is clear the LCD. So in this way total 3 commands will be there that we are going to send to LCD by using command write function. Then we have algorithm, okay, for writing the command on LCD. To write the command on LCD, what will happen? Firstly, we will have to make rs equal to 0. Okay, then we have to clear RW, means writing operation is to be performed, that's why. And as we are working with 4-bit mode, we have to split the command into two. Let us suppose command is 0f for clearing the LCD. Firstly, we will send the upper nibble, that is 0, and after that we will send f. So we will have to split this number into two. One will be upper nibble, another one will be the lower nibble. Okay, so for that purpose we use separator function. The separator function will basically separate upper and lower nibble, then send higher nibble or upper nibble on higher nibble pins of port 1 and toggle the enable pin. So send this data over the line and toggle this enable pin. Again, after that, send lower nibble. We have sent this nibble, now we will send another nibble on higher nibble pins of port 1, means this particular pin, and toggle the enable pin. When you send, toggle it. Okay. So in this way we are sending the commands to the LCD. Now in the same way we can send data. Okay, so we have firstly data equal to S, because we are expected to send SEIT. Our first data is S. So this S is basically represented as 53H. Okay, this is actually ASCII equivalent represented in the form of hex. 53H is the value. So firstly, again in this case also we need to send 5 first and after that 3 on the lines of LCD. Okay, now for command operation we cleared RS. For data operation we have to set RS and clear RW. Okay, here in the both of the cases we are writing the command and writing the data. Then as discussed here, we need to separate those two nibbles. To separate upper and lower nibble of the data value by using separator function, means same function we are calling at this place and at this place also. Then send higher nibble, toggle enable, and then send lower nibble and toggle the enable pin. So the sending mechanism of let's say command and data will remain same. Only there is a difference of setting and resetting RS pin. Now this is the program to display LCD on 16:2 LCD interfaced in 4-bit mode. Okay, we have data lines in which we have connected port 1.4 to D4. Okay, then 1.5 to D5, 1.6 to D6 and 1.7 to D7. We have interfaced the control lines P3.0 to LCD enable P3.1, means whatever we have done in this diagram, it is written in text form. Then we will do variable declaration. Okay, because writing those numbers is little bit harder job, so we are simplifying it by giving some names. So location 31H is some register location at which the data can be saved. We have given the name for this location U. So we have written U EQU. EQU means equate 31, means equate 31 with U. It is just like hash define in your C programming. Okay. In the same way, we have equated L for 32 location. Then P 3.0 can be accessed with the name enable EN, 3.1 RW and port 3.2 as RS. Okay. Then org00h, it is a starting default location from which the program will get started. Here, as we have connected LCD to port P1, we have to make that port as an output port. So move P1 00h. This will make port P1 as output. Again we can see port P3 is connected to LCD. Again those pins should be configured as output. In the same way we have configured port P3 as an output in 00h. Okay. Then clear RW. We have made RW clear. So this particular pin will go low and it will remain low for all the time because we are going to write data and we are going to write command. So during each time we are keep on writing, we are not interested to read. That's why we have made clear RW. So at very beginning there is a LCD initialization part, a call delay. So here delay will be called. So delay routine, a call delay means here delay routine will be called. It will jump to delay routine. Okay, after delay the pointer will come to next instruction, move P1 hash 20h. Now all of we know that we have connected our LCD data lines with port P1. So in this way we have moved data 20 onto P1. Now why data 20? 20 is the command to initialize LCD one line in 5x7 matrix in 4-bit mode. Okay, so firstly you have sent this kind of command, then you wrote a call command write function, means here you are calling command write function. So command write function is at this place. Here you have made rs equal to 0. When you make rs equal to 0, the command will be written a call separator. Now separator will be called. So just going to separator, you keep in mind that we have 20 with us. Okay. One thing you should keep in your mind that we are moving that 20h on in accumulator, not on port P1. We are moving that 20h in accumulator. Okay. Then a called command write. It will go over here clear rs. So as we are writing command, this rs will have to make it 0. A call separator. Here separator is a function. We are calling that separator function. So the pointer will jump to the separator function and it is get switched over here. Okay. Now let us suppose the command is 20. Okay. So 20 can be written as 0010 and 0000. So this is 20, which is there in accumulator. Okay. It will get moved in U. The content of accumulator will get copied into U location. U location is 31h. Okay. So content of U will become 20. Okay. Then add ANL command and the content of U with F0. We have appended this 0 extra. Okay. So in this way content of U will get ended with F0. Then the content of U will become 0010 0000. Okay. So content of U will become 20, right? Then next is swap the content of accumulator. Content of accumulator was this one. Then higher nibble will go at lower nibble and lower nibble will go at higher nibble. So content of accumulator will become something like this, that is 02. Okay. After that and the content of A with F0. Here again we are masking the lower nibble. Okay, so here as we are masking the lower nibble, it means that the content will become like this. Okay, so content will become like this, all the bits will be 0, and that 0 we will be going to move into L. Okay, so here U contains this data. Okay, U contains 2 0 and L contains 0 0. So if we focus on those bits, here we have extracted 2 and here we have extracted 0 separately. Okay, so here after this, move the content of U in A and move A onto port P1. It means that we are moving the upper nibble first. Okay, so 2 0 means basically 2 will get moved onto port P1. After that, set bit enable. We have made enable high and call delay, it will remain high for some time, and clear enable. We have made this enable 0 and it will remain 0 for some time. In this way we have toggled the enable pin. Okay, now L contains the lower nibble. Move that lower nibble into A and content of A onto port P1. So in this way the lower nibble which was 0, that will move to LCD. Okay, and as we have made rs equal to 0, that will be treated as a command. Okay, and again here after sending, make enable toggle and return where, return at this place, a called delay. So delay will be called. Okay, and after this we will send next command. The next command is again initialize LCD in 2 lines 5x7 matrix in 4-bit mode. In the same way we will send 28H into A, pointer will jump to this, then clear rs means command is to be sent a call separator, so the pointer will jump to this function and this particular function will separate the bits higher nibble and lower nibble into 2. Okay, so in this case we will get 2 0 and 8 0 as separated. Okay, and in this case you can see basically this 2 0, when we are sending it, firstly 2 should get sent, so 2 will get sent over those 4 lines. Okay, means 0 0 1 0, right, and this 0 will also get sent, but 0 is not connected anywhere. So here when you are sending this 2 0, basically only 2 will be considered. In the same way 8 will be considered, not 0. Okay, so in this way we have separated 2 0 and 8 0, and we have then sent. After return it will come at this place. Move the upper nibble, that is 2 0, into A and move 2 0 on port P1. So 2 will be sent, then toggle the enable. Again this L will be sent, means 8 will be sent over the lines. Okay, and toggle enable and return. So pointer will return back at this point, and a call delay. Again delay will be called. Okay, so in this way we are sending next command, that is 0fh, that is display on cursor blinking. Then clear LCD means 01h. So in this way we have sent command one by one. Now LCD has got initialized with all those commands. Now our next job is to send the data on the LCD. Now this is the routines to send the data on the LCD. The pointer will come at this place. Okay, move a comma hash s. You can see s is written in single quote. It means that we are sending ASCII value to the display, because that display, LCD display, recognizes only ASCII value. So we'll send s in the accumulator, and we will call data write function, a called data wrt. So the pointer will jump at this location, set bit rs. So rs will become 1 for data. Okay, previously it was 0 for command, now it is 1 for data. Then a call separator, because s has the ASCII value, that is 5 3. Okay, that ASCII value is represented in the form of hexadecimal. So firstly 5 should be sent to port P1 and later on 3 should be sent. So we need to extract 5 and 3 from this data. So we will extract 5 as 50 and 3 as 30. Just like command, here we are sending the data in the same way. So a call separator, here the separator function will be called. Okay, and after doing this kind of separation in U and in L, it will come back at this location. When pointer comes back at this location, the U will be sent to A and content of A will be sent to port P1 to which LCD is connected. Okay, so in this way U, that is upper nibble, has got transferred to the port P1 and hence the LCD. After that, when we send any command or data, we toggle the enable pin. Here we have toggled the enable pin. Set enable pin, it was low previously basically, so set enable pin. Okay, and call delay, it will remain high for some time, clear the enable pin, and it will remain low for some time. Fine. Then move L. L contains 30 into accumulator and move the content of accumulator in port P1. Okay, to which LED is connected. So this 30 will get sent to port P1. In this way 5 and 3 has got sent over the lines and we have toggle this enable pin. Okay, and the return. So in this way, as rs equal to 1 and we have sent 53 over the lines, here s will be printed, s, that character will get printed on the LCD. Okay, and return where, from where it was called at this location. Basically the return will happen to the next instruction, a called delay. Okay, after this move a comma hash e. In the same way we will send e and again data write function will be called. The e will get separated into two, firstly upper nibble and then lower nibble will be sent, and in this way e will get printed. Just like that, here there is one more thing that need to be printed is space. Okay, how to give space? We have given the space by using just two quotations, okay, into inverted commas with some space in between. So this will basically print the space. Okay, after that we have sent I and then T. Fine, in this way we have displayed SE space IT on the display, and now pointer will keep on jumping on the same location again and again. Okay students, so this completes our interfacing of LCD with 8051. In this way we have printed. For next points regarding this unit, stay tuned to videos. Thank you.